How's it going, everyone? Agent Shadow here with another Monster Hunter Rise tutorial, and today's video is on the Rampage. In this video, I'll be going over all the aspects of the Rampage, including setup, different types of monsters, fighting strategies, and the use of special utilities. Before we start, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to all my subscribers for the amazing response you guys have given to the last few videos. We are at 250 subs, which is a quarter of the way to our goal of 1,000 subs. So if you haven't already, and if you like Monster Hunter Rise content, click subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of every upload. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into the video. The first thing we're going to go over is setup. When entering the Rampage, you will have 110 seconds of setup time. This also applies between waves of hordes. This time is given to give the hunter opportunity to set up defenses in the area using the installation platforms that are scattered around. This is the very essence of the Rampage. It's basically a Monster Hunter tower defense game. At these installation platforms, there are a variety of options from manned equipment to auto and special equipment to place. Starting with manned, we have the Ballista, which isn't the strongest but has the most utility in my opinion. It has 3 ammo types, the first being the regular Ballista shot. With landing headshots, it's possible to knock out monsters with this, but the second ammo type, the Craig shot, does a much better job at that. It deals AoE damage, so it can hit multiple monsters with one shot. The retreat shot makes monsters stumble backwards and can be used to push monsters back. Pressing R while on any emplacement will activate a Silkbind guard that keeps you from being knocked off of it. Next up is the cannon, which is unlocked by completing objectives and repelling monsters. The cannon shoots cannonballs, obviously, that deal AoE damage and can also hit multiple monsters at once. It also has one piercing round that can travel through monsters and deal damage, but I haven't had much luck using it at all. The thunder ammo shoots an electrically charged cannonball that deals thunder damage and has a chance to deal thunder blight to monsters. The last is the machine cannon, which is basically the Gatling gun of the game. It shoots high velocity rounds at a great speed and also comes equipped with a cluster shot that can hit multiple monsters in a spread, and the Silkbind shot, which can pull monsters from a distance back to you. For the auto emplacements, they're pretty much the same except they will be manned by villagers of Kamara, and they don't have access to the machine cannon. But in place of that, you get the bamboo bomb, which explodes when monsters come near it, and the wyvern fire artillery, which you can set in a direction, then choose the ammo type and it will engage the monsters that cross into its line of fire. The special slots include some of our favorite characters from Monster Hunter Rise. Summon them to see them in battle finally. Note that each type of emplacement has a limit to how many can be placed in an area. I'll go over how I set up my Rampage in the strategy section. Now it's on the monster types, of which there are 4. The Stalker, Targeter, Gatecrasher, and Major Threats. The Stalker types focus on destroying installations, specifically those with people on them, and are represented by the red symbol. Targeters are flying types that snipe targets from a distance with ranged attacks, and are represented by the green symbol. These guys can be super annoying, so I always target them first. Gate Destroyers focus solely on doing damage to the gate and are represented by the blue symbol. Major Threats are large and very strong monsters who have a lot more health and deal more damage than the rest of the monsters. They attack randomly between the gate and the installments. There are at least one per horde, and defeating them is usually the key to defeating the horde. Now that we've gone through all the setup, let's talk strategy. And one of the first things I learned was that solo Rampage sucks. I highly recommend having a team while doing Rampage just because there's way too much stuff to manage with just one person. When setting up, take notice of your objectives here. These are the key to leveling up your stronghold to max level, and some can be completed before the fight even begins. Be sure to use the max amount of auto weapons available and place battlements for you and your team as well. During the first 2 waves, focus on completing the objectives, since during the last major threat the fight will mainly be focused on taking it down. Also, pick up the shinies around you. You can pick up large numbers of elemental bombs here that can be used to great effect at the start of waves for mass damage on invading monsters. Keep an eye out for your stronghold upgrades and be sure to replace installations with the upgraded versions. Make use of the Dragonator in the first area and also the Power Kilns, as they reduce cooldown between Wyvern Shot and Dragonators and can literally be spammed for very fast cooldowns. It's also important to note here that I usually take the time after Horde number 2 to set up the second area and advance, as the last major threat will always blow straight past the first area. Having your installments set in advance saves a lot of time when forced to move. While doing this, I also set up both Wyvern Fire artilleries pointing towards the gate because monsters always crowd there. In the last phase, we usually break up the team into two people fighting directly in the monster, and the last team using man installations keeping pressure on the monster, and the fourth person spamming power kilns and using the Wyvern shot repeatedly, as well as summoning special types of installments to keep up max damage. Doing all of this results in a pretty comfortable and problem-free run and yields either an S or an S plus rank depending on how good you were on clearing objectives. And that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and comment some other tips you have for Rampage, as well as an idea for what I should cover next. Until next time, good luck and happy hunting.